let's go and find out who our next one is going to be. It is going to be West Ham United and David Moyes. So West Ham United is next up. We're going up against David Moyes, who's done a wonderful job at West Ham. So we'll see what we can do compared to him. You can see here they was founded in 1895, the Hammers. They played at the London Stadium, which of course was built in 2012, the 60,000 seater stadium. They've got the Dockers Derby with Millwall, and also retain fierce rivals against Tottenham and Chelsea, who of course are in the league. With us, Manchester United, Sheffield United and Arsenal are other rivals there. They've won one UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, 3 FA Cups, and 1 Community Shield, being, the sort of top tier trophies. If you can class the Community Shield as that, I'll let you make your own judgment on that one. But not quite the storied histories of trophies here. Decent training and youth facilities, but poor in terms of the coaching, junior coaching and the youth recruitment. So maybe we look at improving that at some point. Declan Rice is our captain for this season and our key player, and Jamal Baptiste is currently our top prospect. And if we just take a look at the squad, you can see it's not the biggest squad in the world. There's just 21 players in here, and 3 of them are goalkeepers. So yeah, we're going to have to look at bringing some people through, either through the academy or signing new people. But I do believe it's also one of the oldest average age squads in the league. You can see the whole host of players that are 27 or above. We're not saying 27 is old, but that's sort of your peak in football as an outfielder. So 10 people, so almost half the squad is sort of at their peak or past it, past the peak. So yeah, we're going to need to completely revitalize this squad, and to do so, we've only been given the £9 million in terms of transfer budget. We can see the club culture here, and the plan. So obviously, we're in the Europa Conference League this season. They want us to reach the final of that. They want top half of the Premier League, 5th round of the FA Cup, and 4th round of the EFL Cup. And they just want us to, by the end of this 5 years, be qualifying for the Conference League consistently. So I'm going to go do this first transfer window. We're going to set up tactics and everything, see what we can bring in with that limited budget, see if we can maybe move someone on to bring in additional money. We will see. But yeah, I'll be right back with you for the end of the first window. Not much in the way of transfer to talk about after this first season. One permanent outgoing was Arthur Masuaku. It's gone to Dinamo Moscow for 7.75 million, and incoming just a one as well is Suso from Sevilla for just under £17 million. Adds a bit of youth, a bit of quality as well to that front line for us. Hoping he can do the business in terms of creating when we need him to. So the squad is still relatively small. These are the this is the formation that we're going to be playing this season. It's a 3-3-3-1 or a 5-1-3-1, however you want to call it. Been using this for a while. I think we've used it in one of these saves before as well. And yeah, Billsport. Let's see how West Ham take to this, shall we? We have played a few games already, and they haven't gone great. So maybe the tactic does need to be changed. But Bournemouth beat us 3-1 on the opening day. Bowen penalty for us, not enough. 2 from Jamal Lewis and an own goal from Kurt Zuma. But we did go through in the Europa Conference League. 4-0 over Lecce in the first leg. Ogbonna and a hat-trick from Suso. What an introduction to the team that was for him as well. 2-1 in the second leg, Bowen and Suso scoring once again. 0-0 draw with Fulham and a 2-0 defeat to Arsenal in the Premier League, though, leaves us in a pretty poor 19th place. And according to the season preview, we should be sort of mid-table, 10th place. So improvement will be needed this season. Let's see how it goes. So we completed our first season, and you can see our chairperson, David Gold, has retired and been replaced by Ted Yeboah. But yeah, enough about that. Let's take a look how the season's gone, shall we? We have had a fantastic season. What a season that is. 5th place in the league, 8 points off of 3rd and 4th, and then just 11 off of 2nd. Liverpool romp into the league title, but 5th place, poor season from Chelsea. We're ahead of Tottenham as well. Fulham, Palace and Forest going down 64 points. You can see here that we have won the Europa Conference League. 4th round of the FA Cup defeat to Norwich is disappointing, but semi-finals of the Carabao Cup is very, very nice. Let's take a look how things go. You can see once we did that first update, I did actually change the tactic, and it's paid off. So in our group in the Europa Conference League, we got Tobil, Dimpro and Zurich apparently. And we topped the group, winning all 6 games and scoring 30 goals in that time. 3-1 over Tobil, 5-0 over Dimpo, 6-2 over Zurich, and then 6-3, 3-0 there, and a 7-1 over Tobil. Yeah, domination, really, which puts us into the second knockout round because we won the group. We played Hajduk Split. We beat them 8-1 on aggregate. So many goals scored already in this competition. Quarterfinals was a little bit tighter. A 3-2 victory over Young Boys. We won the first leg 1-0, 3-2 in the second leg to make it 4-2 overall. The Celtic, Fiorentina and Sparta Praha going through as well. In the semi-final, we did play Sparta and we beat them 6-1 on aggregate, 4-0 in the first leg, 2-1 in the second leg. Puts us into the final, an all-British final to play Celtic, where we obviously won and we beat them 4-1 as well. What a result that is. Dawson, 2 from Rice and 1 from Bowen, gave us the title and would have seen us into Europa League football regardless. The EFL Cup in the 3rd round, you can see we beat Bristol City 4-2. The 4th round we beat Burnley 3-1. And then the quarter-finals we beat Norwich 3-1. Manchester United, Tottenham and Manchester City going through. So it would have been tough regardless who we got. We got City, lost 5-0 overall on aggregate, 4-0 in that second leg. So only 1-0 in the first leg. And Manchester City winning it over Manchester United, the Manchester Derby in the final 3-2. The FA Cup was also won by Manchester City. The 3rd round, we beat Plymouth 1-0, and in the 4th round, we lost 3-2 to Norwich, and we were 2-0 up as well, actually, in that one, which is a little bit painful. Appearance-wise, 57 appearances for Fanals, 56 for Cresswell, 54 for Fabianski. Areola also playing 6, so there was 60 games overall. A lot of players playing plenty of games. 55 for Benrahma, 25 of them off the bench. Goals wise though, 5 players in double figures, 24 for Bowen, 23 for Antonio, 18 for Suso in his debut season with 15 assists as well is incredible. Benrahma getting 16 along with Vlasic as well. And then assist wise, Cresswell coming in with 24 assists. Look at the amount of plays in double figures for assists. Suso, Fanals, Benrahma, Lanzini, Vlasic, Kufal, all in double figures. Incredible season. Just short of 35 million to spend for next season, and yeah, we'll see if we can build on this team and then take them a little bit further forward. We went to the goals formation as well there. So yeah, let's go and do this second transfer window and see if we can build on this wonderful season. So second window done, and fair few more incomings than last season. A couple of outgoings as well. In terms of outgoings for money, Darren Randall's gone to Tigres for £900,000, and Goncalo Cardoso, one of the youth players, gone to AK Athens for £675,000. Lanzini, another one of the bigger names, has left on a free transfer to Levante. In terms of incomings though, Luis Binks from Bologna was the first one in, £2.6 million. He's an English centre-back. Rune Gracie currently down in 10th on the list of centre-backs. But we bought him in more as a future option there. Bart Verbruggen from Anderlecht, £4.2 million. He's a young goalkeeper. Areola looks like he might be leaving next season. We've tried to potentially move him on this season. We had some bids, but not quite the offers that we wanted to. Fabianski's getting on. So this guy is hopefully going to come in and be the future goalkeeper for us here. Jamal Lewis is a name that you might be familiar with. From Newcastle, £5.25 million. I saw him on this cheap. I couldn't really pass him up. He just adds a little bit more youth experience because he has been around the Premier League for a long time. considering he's only 24 years old. But he just adds that little bit extra, that left back spot. And of course, Cresswell again is getting on a little bit, so that's an option there. And another option at left back or centre back is Maximilian. Is it Weber? I think it Weber. Maximilian from Salzburg, £11.5 million. You can see where he can play as either left back or centre back. He's better as a left back. He actually comes in as our best left back, so that is probably where he will be playing. This was a record for the Austrian for an Austrian player at that time, and our final player was Amin Ghouri from Nice. 13 million, potentially rising to 15.5 million. Can play on the left or up top. Sort of idea is going to be a backup to Antonio, potentially overtaking Antonio in that striking position. Tactically, we haven't changed anything. We're sticking with goals. And schedule so far, it was a wonderful start to the season, beating Arsenal 6-2 on the opening day. Bernals, Vlasic, Ogbonna all getting one, and Bowen getting a hat-trick. Odegaard and Martinelli also scoring. Then a 0-0 draw with Leeds, a 4-0 defeat to Newcastle, and a 4-1 defeat to Chelsea. They're sort of giving us a rough start, down in 14th position at the moment. Season preview has us in 8th place though, so hopefully we can bounce back like we did last season and climb up that league again. Third round, the FA Cup being drawn against Harrogate. You can see our Europa League group here is Sporting, Fenerbahce and Slovan Liberec. So I think we should be able to get through that group. Whether we'll be top against Sporting, we'll find out, but I think we're good enough to get through the group regardless. And the board want quarterfinals of the Europa League, top half, and quarterfinals of each of the cups as well. So let's just go and see if we can accomplish that. Season done. Let's take a look how things have gone this season. Okay, well, we dropped off massively in the league, down in 13th place this time, only 44 points. Quarterfinals of the Europa League is pretty good. Third round of the FA Cup is disappointing, but we have won the Carabao Cup as well. So I mean, we've lost 16 games in the league, which is disappointing. Going down in the league, Brentford, Brighton and Burnley. Let's take a look at the Europa League first of all. Let's go through in order here. So we finished second in our group behind Sporting, as I sort of expected us to. The first knockout round we got drawn against Porto. We beat them 5-2. Don't forget, there's no double legged in this season because it's the World Cup year, so they got rid of the double legs. We beat Marseille in the second knockout round 1-0 before the quarterfinals, which is back to 2 legs. We lost 5-4. We lost 5-0 in the first leg and won 4-0 in the second leg, but not enough to go through. Leeds, Ajax and Villarreal going through to the semi-final. Ajax beat Villarreal, Hertha Berlin beat Leeds, and that final was won by Hertha Berlin. So yeah, they won the Europa League. Congratulations there. FA Cup, like I say, it's the third round. It was won by Leicester. We lost 3-0 to Watford. That's incredibly disappointing. And the Carabao Cup, let's take a look how this went. So we beat Harrogate 6-3 in the third round. Disappointed to concede 3 goals, but 6 goals scored is nice. For a 2-1 win over Barnsley in the fourth round, the quarterfinals saw us beat Nottingham Forest 3-1. The semi-finals, we knocked out Arsenal 2-0. Man City destroying Cheltenham, who had a fantastic run, by the way, to get to the semi-finals. Then we won 4-1 in the final against Man City. Soucek scoring a penalty, Voba scoring the second one, Haaland pulling one back, Benrahma and Suso scoring the third and fourth goal. So we do get our hands on another trophy, 2 in 2 seasons now. Just disappointed with how things went in the league, really. Dropping off that much. And you can see why. You can see why. Our last Premier League victory of the season was the 8th of February. Ouch. So the 8th of February, which was there. I mean, we were in 8th place then, but we just dropped after not winning. Disappointing. Bowen was into the hernia. 52 games played for Declan Rice, 50 for Fabianski, Areola playing 4 as well. 54 games in total available to be played. Goals wise, 4 still in double figures this season. Ghouri, who of course we brought in over the summer, joint top scorer with Bowen with 15 each. Sousa getting 11, Benrahma getting 10, Antonio down to 7, but he only played 15 games, so I'm guessing Ghouri was playing up top. And then assist wise, still again 3 players in double figures. Cresswell once again with 18 assists. What couple of seasons he's had on the assist front. Suso with 11, Bernals with 10 as well. So yeah, I mean we're getting goals, we're being creative, but we've just obviously not got the results this time around, and we've been given nearly £62 million to spend going into next season to freshen up this squad, try and get back up towards the European places in the league, and of course we've got the Conference League again next season after winning the Carabao Cup. So let's go do this window. Another transfer window in the books for us, and a bit busier this time, both incomes and outgoings. Let's talk about the outgoings. First of all, the most expensive outgoing that we managed to sell was Vladimir Kufal. He's gone to Fenerbahce, 6.5 million, potentially rising to £7.25 million. Mikhail Antonio has gone to Tigres for £6.25 million. Nave Agurd has gone to Lille for £5.25 million. Areola has gone to Fenerbahce for 4.7 million, potentially rising to 5.2. Craig Dawson to Burnley for 2.4, and Angelo Ogbonna to Anderlecht for £1.2 million. So yeah, I mean we've sold on a couple of players. Agurd, who had been out on loan for a lot of time. That we come here, he's gone back to Lille where he was on loan at last season. He was never going to play for us. The likes of Areola getting on, he wasn't playing. Dawson, Ogbonna, Kufal, Antonio, all getting up there in terms of age. To be fair, they're not particularly old, but I'm at a position where I was looking to replace them. We can still get some decent money for them, so we'll go and get that money. The likes of Fabianski as well, looking on a free transfer to Shakhtar Donetsk. So we were looking for, a couple of players, and we brought in a couple of players. So Calvin Ramsey, first of all, from Liverpool, £16.5 million, adds a bit of youth to the right back role, but he's a bit versatile as well. He can play in a number of different positions. I think he's going to be a very, very good addition to the squad, and a player that I'm very, very excited for in real life. Goncalo Tabucho, Goncalo from Australia Amorda for £575,000. He's a goalkeeper. He hasn't got work permit, so he's gone back on loan to them for the rest of this season. We'll see what we can do after. But definitely one for the future as well. Could be a very, very good goalkeeper there. Frank Onyeka from Brentford, £23 million. Expensive one, but he's a very, very good player as well. And from a league rival. Could be crucial. Comes in, adds a bit of squad depth to the midfield as well. Lorenzo Luca from Pisa, £8.5 million. And again, hasn't got work permit. It's gone out on loan to Lens, but we know anyone that's played Football Manager knows how good he is. So hopefully we can bag him a work permit very shortly and get him playing regularly. And finally, Lucas Martinez Quarta from Fiorentina, £10.25 million. Centre back, 6 foot. I'd probably like to be a little bit taller, but he's a very, very good player. 27 years old, he's just going into his prime. He's going to do business for us. Tactically, things are still the same. And, start of the season has been a little bit mixed once again. So we drew 2-2 with Sheffield United in the Premier League. Jamal Lewis and Said Ben Ramos going for us, and Dye getting 2 for Sheffield United there to give us a point. We beat Strasbourg 3-0 in the first leg of the qualifying for Europa Conference League. 2 from Suso, 1 from Vlasic. Then we lost 3-1 in the second leg, but we do go through 4-3 on aggregate. Quarter scoring the crucial goal for us there. In between that, a draw with Fulham 1-1. Mitrovic going for them, Vlasic scoring for us. Leaves us 15th in the league. Season preview has us in 11th place, so hopefully we can do better than that. They want semi-final of the Conference League, mid-table, 5th round and 4th round, and you can see we were improving a few of the facilities this time around as well. But the Conference League, I don't think has been drawn yet. It hasn't yet. It's actually drawn later on today in game. So we'll see how we'll get on with all these competitions and see how things go in one moment. Season number 3 is in the books. Let's see how things have gone. Well, we dropped off again in the league massively this time, 41 points down in 16th place. But we've won another trophy. We've won the Europa Conference League for a second time, and semi-finals of both cups as well. So I don't mind too much to drop off in the league. We are sort of in a transition period at the moment where we're moving away from that older squad, bringing in a lot of younger players. So I don't mind that too much. How many games did we end up losing? 19 this time. So we've lost half of our games, winning 11, drawing 8. Haaland, by the way, scoring 49 goals. That is ridiculous. Europa Conference League, let's go and take a look at that. We can see we beat PSV in the final there, but in the group stage, we did top our group of Genk, Ferencváros and Colmar, winning 5 games, drawing 1. We drew with Genk 1-1. That puts us into the second knockout round, where we beat Austria Vienna 5-1 in the second leg, but 9-1 on aggregate, so 4-0 in the first leg. Quarterfinals was 9-4 against Trabzonspor, 5-3 in the second leg there. Semi-finals, even more goals, 11-1 over Ludogorets. That means it was 8-1 in the first leg. Wow. And then obviously that final, beating PSV 2-1. Zuma and finals, giving us the title after Romero put PSV ahead to give us constantly another trophy. So that's 3 in 3 years now. Guri and Bowen, the top scorers there. Let's take a look at the FA Cup next. It was won by Liverpool in the final on penalties over Newcastle. The third round we beat Nottingham Forest 3-0. Fourth round, we needed a replay, but we beat Chelsea 2-1. The fifth round was 1-0 over West Brom. Quarterfinals, we beat Wolves 3-2, and then that semi-final, we lost 2-1 to Liverpool. They were 2-0 up, Jota and Salah scoring before, like I say, Liverpool went on to beat Newcastle in the final on penalties. And finally, the Carabao Cup. The third round, we beat Stoke 4-2. Fourth round was a 3-1 victory over Newcastle. Quarterfinals was 3-0 over Fleetwood. And then the semi-finals, we lost 7-2 on aggregate to Leicester, 4-2 in the first leg. Leicester ended up winning 2-1 over Everton in the final. Appearance-wise, 63 appearances for Bruggen this season, 1 for Knightsbridge. 63 appearances for Declan Rice as well. What's that? 62 for Guri. 61 for Bowen, plenty of games being played. Goals-wise, 41 for Guri. What a season that is. What a signing he's been. 33 for Bowen as well. It's incredible. That's 74 goals between 2 players across all competitions. 13 for Fnals, 12 for Benrahma, and 12 for Vlasic as well. A lot played double figures, and even more, well, same amount actually, in double figures for assists. Ben Johnson getting 14, Bowen getting 12, Fnals, Suso, Guri, and Vlasic all getting 11 each. So Bowen and Guri, incredible seasons, absolute incredible seasons. I think it might end up being tough trying to keep them. Bournemouth is an interesting name in there to want Bowen. They finished up in 12. Yeah, that's a very, very good season. We've been given £58.5 million to continue improving this team. So let's go to this window and see if we can continue this run of trophies and start to move back up that league. Fourth window is in the books, and let's take a look at how things are going. We've had a couple of big outgoings. First of all, the biggest one, Pablo Fornals, gone to Real Madrid for £51 million. We rejected one offer for them, but he wanted to leave. Can you blame him? Real Madrid have come knocking. So we've let him go for £51 million, which I think is a decent amount. I mean, we probably could have got more for him, but just the fact that he wanted to go, we wasn't going to stand in his way. 166 appearances for us. So he has gone on to Real Madrid. And Saif Benrahma has gone to Olympiacos for £17 million as well. He wasn't playing as much recently, so I was happy to let him go. For some decent money as well. Christian Heggie has also gone to to QPR even for £130,000 and a few loanees as well, including the likes of Luca and Buko, of course, was just waiting on work permits for as well. And then we brought in Mahmoud Dahoud from Borussia Dortmund, £10.5 million. He is a centre mid or a holding mid, depending where we need him to. He is a very, very good player. I mean, look at these attributes here. The amount of greens in there, your 16s and above. He's a wonderful centre back, and I think, centre mid. I think he's going to do a very good job for us. The 28-year-old Arthur Piedfort from PSV next up, £2.5 million, a right back. One to develop. You can see he's gone out on loan to MK Dons for first team football this season, but it allows us to have a backup for when Ben Johnson has gone. So he's only 24. I thought he was older, but you can see he doesn't, according to the coaches, he doesn't really have much room to grow. So we are looking to potentially replace him. Calvin Ramsey is the long-term first choice right back for me, but Pedford will come in as a good backup as well. Omar Sole from Salzburg, £18 million, centre back, 6'4", tall is what I like, and he's solid. Not spectacular, but he's solid, and he's going to do a good job for us at centre back. And then finally, Tiram Muffy from Leipzig, £4.5 million. He's a striker again, comes up as a bit of backup with Antonio leaving. A couple of players across that front lines changing. So Gory can go out onto that left hand side, where he's actually better off. Impact the game from there, and then you've got Muffy slotting up from Bowen in behind as well. I think we've got a pretty decent team here. Again, tactically we haven't changed. We've kept that as it is because I've got faith in this system. But we've had a wonderful start to the season. We beat Aston Villa 5-0 on the opening day. Guri, Souček, 2 from Luka and 1 from Vlasic in this game. We then beat Watford 2-1, 2 from Vlasic as well in this one. So he has started the season fantastically for us. And then 2 goals from Suso gave us a victory over Tottenham. Harry Kane scoring for them as well. But Suso giving us all 3 points to put us joint top of the league after 3 games so far. Again, it's only 3 games, but it's the best start we've had so far by quite a distance. Season preview has us in 10th place, and the board wants us to be mid-table. 2nd knockout round of the Europa League, 5th round of the FA Cup, 4th round of the EFL Cup. Europa League group stage, we've been drawn with AZ Alkmaar, Ferencvaros and Anderlecht. Tough group, but we should get through. Let's go and sim this 4th season, see how we get on. So 4 seasons in the book. We've won 3 trophies in 3 seasons. Have we continued that run? Let's find out. We have. Yes, we have. We've completed and we finished 4th in the league. Wow, okay. Wow, what a season. Champions League football would have been guaranteed through the league regardless, but we've also won the Europa League, beating Manchester United in the final. Premier League, obviously last season we finished down in 15th place. We'd lost 19 games. We still lost 10 games this time around. Lost to Liverpool, who finished below us. Brighton, who got relegated, we actually lost both games against them. That isn't good enough. Leeds, who finished below us. Wolves, who finished below us. Arsenal, who finished below us. But we've won more than enough games to have been in 4th place, 3 points ahead of Arsenal, 9 behind Tottenham. But yeah, Haaland once again with 47 goals. I haven't really been paying much attention to him throughout this entire thing, but look at these goal numbers. This is ridiculous. I'm looking forward to the time when I get to manage him. Europa League, we beat Manchester United in the final 1-0, and Luka scored the only goal of the game to give us another trophy. Group stage, we actually topped the group. We won 5 games, we drew 1. We drew against Anderlecht, who finished in 3rd place and dropped into the Conference League, but we won every other game. Put us into the 2nd knockout round, where we beat Salzburg 5-3 on aggregate, 2-0 in the 2nd leg, so it's 3-3 in the 1st leg to put us through. Manchester United are beating Sociedad. PSG was dropped down as well. They beat Leeds just, so 1st leg 1-0 victory. We then knocked out Fiorentina 5-4 on aggregate. Manchester United knocking out Sporting, Milan knocking out Lille, and PSG knocking out Benfica. So who did we get in the semis? We actually defeated PSG. We lost 1-0 in the 1st leg, but then beat them 3-0 in the 2nd leg. That is absolutely incredible. If we just take a look at the EFL Cup, we lost in the 4th round. We lost to Leicester 3-1 after beating Man City in the 3rd round. Hat-trick from Vlasic, 1 from Zuma in there. Then a 3-1 defeat. Poku scoring 1 for Fauna, getting 2 as well. FA Cup, we then beat Leicester. We got a bit of revenge there, 1-0. Luka scoring. Beat Aston Villa 3-2. Belotti and Jose scoring for them. 2 from Gory, 1 from Souček. Put us through. We beat Arsenal in the 5th round thanks to Luka, and then lost 4-1 to Newcastle. Chukwueze, Sanchez and Alan St. Maximum scoring the goals for them, Quarter scoring for us. PSG, we lost 1-0 in the away leg. Mbappe scored, so Mbappe's still there. But we just had the class at home. Souček, Luka and Vlasic putting us through before that victory in the final. We lost 3-1 to Liverpool on the final day. We didn't have the best run in. but we've done enough early in the season. A 3-3 draw with Man City in there as well is a result and a half. We did lose 6-2 to them earlier in the season, though. That is painful. In terms of appearances, this time Verbruggen playing 55 games, Jacob Nightbridge appearing in 2 as well. 57 games total, 56 for Bowen, 6 of them off the bench. It's a lot of football being played. Goals-wise, still multiple players in double figures. 22 for Guri, 21 for Luca, who we did recall off his loan. Blasic getting 17, Bowen getting 12, Suso getting 11 as well. And assist-wise, 4 players in double figures there. Bowen with 16, incredible season from him. Suso with 15 as well, another cracking season once again for the 31-year-old. Zuma coming in with 12 assists, and Ben Johnston with 10 as well. But a whole host of players getting assists on the score sheet as well, which is lovely to see. And going into our final season and a bit of Champions League football, we've been given £56.5 million to spend. Let's go spend it and see what we can do in the Champions League. So the final transfer window has been done. Let's take a look at what we have done. In terms of outgoing to few transfers before the season ticked over, Issa Diop has gone to Wolves. £35 million. Regan Clayton's gone to Preston as well for a couple of £100,000. Incomings, we've signed Rodrigo Bentancur from Tottenham, £21 million. He's going to add a bit of quality and a bit of depth into our midfield, the 28-year-old. And I think brings something different to what we've got so far at the club. Luca Pellegrini from Lyon at £12.5 million, potentially another million going on top of that left back. A position I think we needed to improve when Cresswell's retired. So just adds a little bit, more depth to his team. And I think he can challenge for a few starts there as well, along with our next guy, Chris Richards from Union Berlin, £13 million. He can play anywhere across that back line, which is so crucial for me. And yeah, he's going to be solid. I mean, you can see the coaches think he's 3.5 stars. Level with Zuma, so yeah, I think he's gonna be a very, very good defender. He's pretty good when you look at his attributes as well, and he's 2-footed, which is nice. And Diogo Travasos from Sporting Lisbon, 5 million, an extra £500,000 potentially to be added to that as well. He can play right back, he can play pretty much anywhere along that right hand side, but can also play left back as well. His main aim for me is to be in and around that right back position, but like I say, potentially further forward if needs be. He is out on loan at Blackburn for the rest of this season. And then we've also sold Suso. He's gone to Dynamo Kiev, £15.5 million. We signed him a couple of years ago. He's been absolutely fantastic for us, and £1.5 million loss on him, I think, is very, very good for what we've had out of him. He's been incredible. Last season was his best season. But yeah, I just felt it was the right time to sort of cash in on him, and a replacement was brought in for Kundo Palistri from Manchester United for £24 million. Play on that right hand side, could play on the left or up top if we need him to, but it adds again a bit more squad depth to that attacking quartet, really. Fixtures so far, we are unbeaten. 1-1 draw with Liverpool is very, very nice. Zuma puts ahead of Vlavic, pulling one back. Beavers shares the points before a 4-4 draw with Aston Villa, which was an incredible game, really. Blasic getting 2 for his Guri, and Luca also scoring. John McGinn scoring 2 for Villa, Belotti, and Carlos also scoring. And then we beat Tottenham 1-0, with Zuma scoring the only goal of the game in this one. So Zuma with a couple of goals already. And you may notice here, we've won a trophy. We won the European Super Cup. We beat Chelsea on penalties. Luca put his head. Kovacic equalised in the 88th minute. Interestingly, Roberto Firmino is at Chelsea. He's missed a penalty, as did Tanguy Nianzou. Chilwell, Conte, Kovacic, Diaz, and Immobile scoring for them, but Luca, Gori, Rice, Dahoud, Sole, and Benacore scoring for us. Balistri did miss the penalty, but we have won one trophy already, and it currently means we're in 7th position, with the season preview have us in 9th, which I think is fair. We've got Champions League football coming up this season, so it's going to be tough. And we're in a pretty tough group, to be fair. Barcelona, Benfica, and Fenerbahce in there with us. I think it's going to be tough to get through this group, but maybe we can pip Benfica. and qualify. We will see what happens. The board just wants to be competitive and finish mid-table in the Premier League, quarterfinals, the FA Cup, and they don't care too much about the EFL Cup. So our final season, let's see what we can do. Can we make it? Well, we've already made it 5 trophies in 5 seasons. Can we add another one? Let's find out. So let's take a look how our final season has gone, shall we? We've won 5 trophies so far. Have we got another one? No. Okay, 8th place in the league though isn't too bad. It's not too bad considering we had Champions League football to deal with as well. That step up in quality would have taken a lot out of us. 62 points is still pretty good as well. Only 20 points off top. Leeds, I've just seen a second. Only lost the title by 1 goal. Where the hell did they come from? 10th last season, 2nd this season. And it's because they conceded 2 more than Manchester City. They actually outscored Man City. That I was not expecting to see at all. And despite a 5-0 win on that final day as well. Rodri, 84th minute goal, won the title for Man City. Wow. Okay, that is harsh on Leeds. We lost on the final day. And we would have been 7th had we beat Everton. Let's take a look how the Champions League went, shall we? So Barcelona won it on penalties. Of course, they were in our group, so we know who went through in our group. Once I can get down to all groups. And we did come second behind them. Okay, so we lost a game against Barcelona and Benfica. We drew with Fenerbahce. But we won all our home games. They are so crucial in tournaments like this. You win your home games, you're going to be in a great place. Lewandowski is still playing there as well. Mbappe is now at Real Madrid. But yeah, that is a pretty good start to us. And then we got drawn against PSG. We actually lost on penalties as well. We won 2-1 in the first leg, and Mudryk in the 72nd minute sent it to penalties where Jamal Lewis missed. That's unlucky. That is unlucky. So we lost. It was like 10-9 in the end. 11-9. 9. Okay. I didn't realise Donnarumma was taken that early. Actually, just look at these statistics. We dominated PSG. Wow. Still got Neymar playing there as well, but we are so unlucky to have not made it through there, really. Manchester United beat Real Madrid 8-6 on aggregate. So that was 7-4 in the first leg. Wow, some pretty incredible results there. For every away team going through, Barcelona winning 7-0 over Milan. We would have got Man City in the next round. They did knock out PSG, and they lost to Bayern. So, yeah, it's not been a bad tournament at all for us. And the FA Cup was the quarterfinals. It was won by Newcastle. In fact, let's just go to the schedule page, take a look at it this way. So we beat Luton 4-1 in the EFL Cup. Before losing 2-1 to Southampton, we got destroyed 7-1 by Manchester United as well in there. Beat Man City 5-1, which is quite nice. FA Cup there, we beat Burton 4-1. Beat Nottingham Forest 3-2. Beat Bournemouth 1-0 and then lost 3-0 to Manchester United in the quarterfinals, which I don't mind too much about at all. In terms of appearances, 53 appearances each for Verbruggen and Declan Rice this season. Verbruggen did play every game possible, so obviously Rice did as well. Not as many substitute appearances this time around. So, yeah, interesting season for us. Looker is currently unhappy. I guess he wants to join a bigger team. Oh, wants to deal. Okay. Goals wise, Looker getting 28 goals, 18 for Bowen, 14 for Guri, 11 for Rice, 10 for Vlasic, and assist wise 24 for Bowen. Incredible season for Jared Bowen. Ben Johnson getting 13, as did Vlasic as well. So it's been pretty good for us. It has been pretty good for us. We are 2 times European Conference League winners, a Europa League winner. Was it the Carabao Cup we won as well? Honestly, I've already forgotten. So yeah, Europa League, Super Cup, 2 times Europa Conference League, and the Carabao Cup. So David Moyes has got a tough run on his hands to try and beat us. Let's go see what he can do. So David Moyes didn't make it all the way through. He was sacked in 2022, March of 2022 with West Ham. Looking like they were struggling a little bit. So he didn't even make it out of the first season. They were in 12th place, which I don't think was too bad, to be honest with you. But obviously, the board felt differently. If we just take a look at how they did in that first season. They were knocked out in the Europa Conference League, second knockout round to Nantes. Fifth round of the FA Cup, lost to Southampton, but he was sacked before that second leg, I believe. And the FA Cup quarter-final defeat to Newcastle on penalties. I don't think that's a bad season for him to be sacked, to be honest with you. But yeah, he was sacked, so that's the end of that one for him. I'm going to be honest, I'm putting this one down as a win just because the amount of trophies he won. I don't think if he'd have managed the 5 years, he'd have beat that, to be perfectly honest. So, I know I said if the manager's going to get sacked, it's been put in void, but we've won that many trophies. I think that deservedly goes in the victory column for us. Which, of course, means it's time for us to find out who our next team is going to be. We have 10 remaining. We are halfway there. Let's spin this wheel and find out who our next one is going to be. It's going to be Arsenal. This is one that I've been very, very excited to do. And Arsenal will be coming up next. So, of course, it does make it now 6-2-2 to us. So, we're in a pretty healthy lead. Hopefully, we can go build on that and take on Mikel Arteta next week. If you enjoyed this one, please do like, subscribe to the channel, share this video around, and we'll see you back here next time for more of Tuna's Verses. I was going to say Tuna Travels, different series, Tuna Verses. Come back for that one.